believe it's that time of year already.
It's certainly coming fast.
Yeah, you better believe it. Of course, the summer just kind of like, I don't know where it went, but
Wasn't much of a summer.
no, it wasn't.
6 more weeks.
Yeah.
Bridge Festival's coming.
We know we did the Covered Bridge tour. Didn't go to all the bridges last year. Michelle and my mom went, and she absolutely enjoyed it. Thought it was wonderful. And of course they have food at some of these bridges, and
It makes it a lot of fun. It'd be really hard to do all 18 bridges in one day during the festival, especially because there's so much going on each of the bridge, or most of the bridges.
Last year you had perfect weather.
Yes, and we're
Nice.
hoping for it again this year.
I
I'm
am
hearing
hoping
it's
for
going
it
to be
too.
an early winter, and
Yep.
we don't want snow.
What are the dates, Ginger?
Saturday and Sunday, October 11th and 12th.
Okay. And now you have something at the fairgrounds too.
Yes, there's a whole festival going on at the fairgrounds. You know, the fair food, crafters, food vendors, entertainment. This year we've got a bluegrass band called Lonesome Meadows going to be there Saturday and Sunday. Dixieland Band on Sunday. Dan Shaw does a church service every year on Sunday. Jungle Terry will be there for a while Saturday. There's a parade that comes through the grounds Saturday.
Really?
And after the parade, there's a bunch of antique cars that park on the grounds for a while and people can look at them.
What time's the parade?
The parade comes into the fairgrounds at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, is this your first year as
This is my first year as director. I've been involved as a volunteer for probably 15 to 18 years. I don't even remember when I started volunteering. And on and off the board over the years.
Are you originally from Conneaut?
No.
Okay, where are you from?
Clarion County, Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
My twin sister married a guy from out here and I followed her out here.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Now you've been on the show before, wearing a different hat.
Yes, I was.
You, Ginger actually came on. I think Penny brought you in.
Yes.
And would it proper to call you a masseuse?
Massage therapist.
Massage
is the term we
therapist.
prefer, yes.
And
And I'm still a massage therapist also.
You're still doing that?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you about that too. She actually came on the air and gave me a massage. It was fantastic. I went home and I was like limp. It was great. Where do you work out of?
For my massage business?
Yeah, do you have your own?
Yes, I work out of my home office.
Okay.
And I also work for Dr. Gleckler in Ashtabula every Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, it was kind of neat because from sitting here for 3 hours every day,
Slumped over a computer
slumped over a
screen.
computer, I get the tension in the back and my neck, and what you did that day was basically in my neck area, and it really worked.
Well, I'm glad you remember that.
I do remember that. I do. I'm excited about the Covered Bridge Festival because fall is one of my favorite times of year, even though I know you're going to go into winter afterwards, but fall is a beautiful time of year. And the Covered Bridge Festival, if you haven't toured it, it is something to see because, especially if you have a nice day. And I've gone on the tours even when it's rainy out and terrible out. I enjoy doing that on a Saturday morning or afternoon. And is there 18 bridges? Is that what
We have 18 of them now, yes.
Yeah, and 3 of them are located here.
In Conneaut. Yeah, there's Middle Road, Creek Road, and State
State.
are all
Yeah, yeah,
in Conneaut.
yeah. And you have a committee that helps you out with this.
Yeah, there's a board of directors, plus we have other committee people that chair different things, like
Yeah.
a bridge chairperson who organizes what goes on at the bridges. And
Now I want to make sure that we touch on everything so that people know what's happening. Is there a time that it starts, those 2 days? Or
it's 9 to 5 both days.
9 to 5, okay. And you are basically going to have people at each site, like if they want a hot dog or something like that.
I'd like to
We always
welcome
have
Clay
one or two
Nelson
bridges
here.
with
Nelson.
nothing going on, so that the people who want to go out and get pictures without the fall decorations and without a ton of people in it, so that there's a couple bridges they can go to.
Now locally, what we got? We got Creek Road, as you mentioned, Middle, Are there going to be people out at those ones?
I haven't got all the stuff back from all the bridge chairs yet, so I am not
Usually there is.
totally sure. Yes, usually all three Conneaut bridges have a chairperson.
Yeah. You know, I'm kind of got a vacuum here because I'm trying to think where the state road bridge is.
What's the name of the road that Tarsitano's on? If you go straight back there, it's on state right beside it.
Gotcha.
And Don Watson, who's really involved in the D-Day thing and stuff, he's our bridge chair for state road, and he always has quite a display down there and a lot of stuff going on.
Okay, I forgot about that. That's right by Tarsitano's there, down the road from there.
Yeah, just down.
Yeah, interesting. What else you got as far as fill us in on all the stuff that you got?
Well, the stuff that's going on at the fairgrounds, I've got more organized already. The bridge chair stuff comes in closer to, last minute.
Mm-hmm.
But at the fairgrounds, we always have our mini bridge that we take around to fairs and festivals to advertise our festival is on display after the parade.
Mm-hmm.
We drive it through the parade and then have it on display at the grounds so people can walk through it. The bicentennial bell that was made at the Covered Bridge Festival 10 years ago now, I believe.
Yeah.
We have it on display. There's a quilt show in the quilt barn. The Antique Engine Club from down on 322 brings up a bunch of antique engines, and they're putting along all the time. Yeah, people really enjoy that. After the parade, like I said, there's lots of antique cars for people to see. There's a bunch of contests that we have every year. There's a mini bridge contest that kids or adults can build miniature bridges and enter them in the contest, and we give prizes every year. A scarecrow contest that usually...
How does that work?
We have a little form on our website that you just fill out and bring in with your entry on Friday. The entries all have to be brought in Friday. They judge them on Friday, and then the ribbons are up over the weekend. And then people pick up their mini bridge or their scarecrow or their pumpkins after, the end of the day, Sunday.
I'm going to ask you this, and it's probably a hard one to gauge, but how many people do you think go take part of that?
It is really hard to gauge, and like you said, it's very weather dependent.
Very much
on a beautiful weekend, we get probably around 10,000 through the fairgrounds.
No kidding.
But then there's quite a few thousand more that just go out to the bridges and never come to the fairgrounds. I've talked to a lot of people who say, I didn't know there was a whole festival going on at the fairgrounds. We just always go to the bridges. And that's what it's all about. We want everybody to go out to the bridges. But yeah, there's a whole festival going on at the fairgrounds. Come have some fair food, check out all the crafters and vendors. We have our official souvenirs there, but we also send some out to the bridges. There's a pedal tractor pull we've been doing for several years. The Buckeye Puller organization comes in and does this. So I'm putting flyers out at the schools and the libraries and stuff about that. That's pretty much for little kids. But and then we have, besides the entertainment, the people that do a few shows, 1-hour shows or whatever, we have Michael Vicky, who is a dulcimer player. He's won a lot of awards over the years and stuff. He sits on the grounds and talks about hammered and mountain dulcimers, and he walks around some, goes through the craft buildings to play for them. John King was there last year. He's coming back in this year, the guy that does Abraham Lincoln. Impersonation. He walked around the grounds all in his Abraham Lincoln get up, and people love that. We have some clowns that go around and interact with all the kids. We have kids rides. The last couple of years we've had some kids rides. And this year we're hoping that he's going to bring a Ferris wheel, and we're hoping to get all the visiting royalty on the Ferris wheel and take pictures of them on the Ferris wheel.
Well, it's so family friendly that that's what's neat about it. I mean, it's just a family affair that you can go out and enjoy yourself.
That's what it's always been about, getting families to get out and enjoy the bridges and do things together.
I wonder if Ashtabula County has the most covered bridges than any county in the state.
It does.
Does it really?
Yes.
Because that's a lot.
And we also have the longest covered bridge in the United States and the shortest covered bridge open to traffic in the United States.
Well, I've gone to the longest one, the Smullen one, and Every time I go there, I'm simply amazed. And all year round, I mean, that draws people
Yes, it does.
all the time, you know. I know when we went on the tour last year, every bridge we hit, it was packed with people, just taking pictures and having a good time and enjoying the ambiance of what we have here.
Yeah, and it's really nice at Smolin. There is a lot more parking, so they can have more activities going on there because there's
Yeah.
more room to park. All the bridges get big groups of bikers that come through.
Really?
Oh yeah, and the bikers are so good to the kids. You know, some of the bridges, there's scout troops set up selling something to raise money for their troop, and the bikers are very generous to them. But it's really, I've heard that it's really cool to see the
Sure.
amount of bikes parked at Smolin Bridge sometimes.
When these people that do have the vending, the crafts and all that stuff, do they have to pay to do that?
Yeah, they pay for a vendor space just like they would at any other craft show.
And it's like a festival, or
And that
anything?
helps us pay for the rental of the fairgrounds and all that.
Yeah. Does it cost quite a bit to have this?
It actually costs a lot more than most people realize.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have a clue.
That's one thing I did want to bring up. For years we've had a gate fee, and we're changing it this year because a lot of people don't understand how much we have to pay to be on the grounds there, and they complain. Some of them don't come onto the fairgrounds because they didn't want to pay that $3
$3?
gate fee. Yeah. So we've changed it. This year it's going to be free entrance, but we're going to have a parking fee, $5 per car or $2 per motorcycle. That way they can pile a bunch of people in a car
Sure.
and come for $5
Sure,
instead.
sure.
And hopefully that'll bring more people onto the grounds to make more money for the crafters and,
Yeah.
and the food vendors.
Yeah.
We're working really hard to get more food vendors and stuff.
When I used to work for the Gazette, and we always put out a special edition promoting this event.
Yes, they still do.
Still do?
Yep.
And it's been a long time since I worked there, but I remember doing that, and I think we kind of took covered bridges for granted because we grew up with them, you know?
People in this area do.
Yeah. It's
But
just
we
like
get visitors from all over the country and even overseas.
Really?
Yeah, that was one nice thing when I used to work gates. Whenever I'd see somebody foreign come through talking to them, I've had talked to people from Australia and Japan and
Really?
England, Ireland. They didn't necessarily come here just for Covered Bridge Festival, but they came at that time because that's one of the things they wanted to do while they're visiting family in the area or whatever.
It's a great event, and it certainly gives people like that are visiting here something to do different.
Yes.
Than,
And most of them are quite amazed at how many covered bridges we have and how well preserved. You know, we're working, that's what the Covered Bridge Festival started in the 80s.
I was going to ask you, like, with does any of the funds that you do raise, and probably a lot of it has to go into the actual event itself, but do any of the funds help out with refurbishing these?
Over the years, yes, we've helped.
Because I think the Middle Road Bridge, I remember years ago, maybe, God, it's got to be 20 years ago maybe, when a lot of volunteers went and actually refurbished that
Yes.
bridge,
Mhm.
because it was getting run
And in
down.
the first years, I think more funds went towards that.
Mm-hmm.
And we would love to get back to. I actually just worked with our website guy to add a donation button to our website so that people can donate towards projects like that. We need to fix up our mini bridge that we take around to parades. It was built in the 80s and it needs tightening up and stuff.
Right.
And we'd like to do more towards repainting some of the bridges. That Route Road is getting a little dilapidated. South Denmark really could use a coat of paint. And so if anybody wants to go to the website, it's coveredbridgefestival.org. There's a donation button there. We'd love to have some more funds.
Every little bit helps,
Yes,
doesn't
it
it?
does.
Yeah. Now, what I'm going to have Ginger do, in case you tuned in late, I'm going to have a recap what's coming up with the Covered Bridge Festival, which is in October. So I'll turn it over to you, Ginger.
All right. Well, the festival is Saturday and Sunday, October 11th and 12th. The hours are 9 to 5 both days. And we always have all kinds of activities going on at the bridges, plus a whole festival going on at the fairgrounds with lots of entertainment. I don't remember if I mentioned Jungle Terry's going to be there Saturday this year.
You did.
Okay, I wanted to get that in for sure. He's a big draw.
Yes, he is.
And a church service on Sunday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, Dan Shaw has been doing it
Oh
for
yeah,
many
you
years.
did mention Dan. Yeah.
And a pancake breakfast both days. Conversation Station from Orwell has been doing that the last few years. The parade is on Saturday, comes into the fairgrounds around 2 o'clock, and all kinds of displays set up for both days.
You're going to be a busy girl.
Yes. I have been a very busy girl for
For a
starting
while.
to get the vendors all lined
You
up.
probably have to start planning this a year in advance.
Yes. As soon as we finish one festival,
Go into the next.
we start lining things up for the next one.
Do you have to be on the premises all the time those 2 days then?
Me, yes. Unfortunately, all these years I've been involved, I have been chained to the fairgrounds all the time, and I never get out to the bridges to enjoy
Yeah.
what's going on at the bridges.
Yeah, you're too busy.
But that's what it's all about. We're trying to get people out to visit the bridges.
Yeah.
But come to the fairgrounds too and see what's going on at the fairgrounds. Bring
As-
kids to the rides.
As Ginger said, we have 18 fairgrounds, 18 covered bridges, and the fact that I did not know that she cleared me up on was that we are the county with the most in the state
Yes.
of Ohio. So, you know, we grew up with them, so, you know, take advantage of this day. It's a family-friendly thing, and we're going to have Ginger back probably 2 weeks before the event or whenever she's available, because she said she can't do it the week of because it's just too busy that time.
We're packing everything in the office up and taking it over to the fairgrounds and getting set up.
Do you have buildings over there and stuff that you can?
Yeah, we use several of the buildings for the crafters, and we use the pavilion for some of the entertainment.
What are some of the crafts, Ginger, that do you know?
Oh yeah, we've got people that have been there for 30 years. Homemade crafts, plus we're allowing some more commercial type vendors in now. But there's homemade fudge. There's you know, all kinds of
It seems like we went one
handmade
year
crafts.
to the fairgrounds, Michelle and I, and it seems to me there was a crafter there that had alpaca items that she had made, like scarves
Yes.
and things.
Yeah, there's several people with things like that, crocheted items.
And we bought them for Christmas,
Mhm.
even though it's
a
October.
very good place to do Christmas shopping. A lot
Yeah,
of
you
people
can
come
do your Christmas shopping
that,
there,
yeah.
and you just save them and then wrap them up for
Yes.
as gifts. Yeah, and I still use my alpaca scarf that I bought that day, and this is many years later that I still utilize. Keeps your neck warm.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Plus
again,
we have our official Cover Bridge souvenirs too.
you have. Oh, you sell those too?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. The dates again?
October 11th and 12th,
October 11th and 12th.
9
Friday,
to 5. Saturday
Saturday,
and Sunday.
and 9 until 5.
Yes.
Right. So what if somebody wants to go at 8 o'clock?
The crafters will be setting up. And there won't be an awful lot going on yet. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention, we have a chainsaw carver, a lady chainsaw carver
No.
who's been performing for, I don't know how many years she's been coming. She's absolutely fabulous. She does 3 shows a day,
You're kidding.
and
I've never
she
seen
sells her stuff that she makes. It's pretty amazing.
that. I'll be darned. So that is at the fairgrounds. I guess, you know, we will have to take a ride out there to check that out, because I don't remember. It's been a long time, like I said, since we've been out there. It's probably 10 or 15 years at least.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, I have to check it out.
Well, I'll have a radio on me, so ask somebody and they can call me when you come. I'd like
All
to
right.
say hi.
All right, we'll do that. We'll do that. Check it out. Family friendly. I can't ask for a more family friendly event. And it is the 11th and 12th of October. Now, I know it's a little bit more than a month away, but put it on your calendar and you will enjoy yourself. I guarantee that.
That 6 weeks is going to go very
Oh,
quickly.
it does. It does. Just like the summer did.
Yes.
All right, Ginger. Well, get back to me, okay? And we'll set something up.
I will do that.
as we
Thank
get
you very
closer
much
to
for
it.
having me today.
Absolutely.